Thank you for joining us today for this inaugural episode of the Stafford Branch National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP Report. I am Princess Franchi, and we're going to take a look back at 2021. What better way than to have this journey with Miss Yolanda Roussell, Stafford NAACP President. Well, welcome, Madam President. How are you?
Hi, that's fine. Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, thank you. And thank you for your vision for this show. Well, we have a lot to cover, so let's get started. And let's first
Okay.
start by talking about you. How did
Um,
you get involved and get started with NAACP?
okay. I got started by an invitation actually back in 2017. Since then, I've served on different committees, like the membership committee. I started on that in 2018. I became chair of the Freedom Fund Committee in 2019. So I was chairing both committees. And I had the privilege of being elected as president in November of 2020. So, serving the community with the NAACP has been one of the highlights of my civic engagement.
Wow, you have been quite busy. Well,
Oh,
and I know 2021, since this is your first year as the branch president, has been also extremely busy. So tell us, what has that experience been like?
well, you come in with a vision and you have to share that vision, of course, with the people that you're working with. And my top three things that I wanted to accomplish were first to increase membership, and then to increase our footprint in the county regarding political issues, voters' rights, health, the health of our community, and economic development. And the third was and still is to educate the community on the history of African Americans, which strides in tandem with American history in general.
So you're really involved with wanting to educate our community. So with that, I actually
Absolutely.
want to kind of get into some couple of issues, if that's okay.
Okay. Okay.
On October the 26th, this year, 2021, you released an official statement in reference to then Stafford County School Board candidate for the Hartwood District, Elisa Hartstead, where she reposted images that was characterized in your statement as hateful and bigot and a threat to the civil rights and anti-discrimination protection of our students. Can you talk about why the Stafford NAACP took such a strong position against these social media posts?
Well, it wasn't something that we could ignore. Okay. Those shared memes were homophobic, transphobic, and Islamophobic in nature. Okay. The pictures depict gay, Muslim, and transgender students as subjects of ridicule, and they have the potential to incite fear. One of the memes characterizes new migrant immigrants as only coming to America to collect government assistance and become welfare recipients. Well, if my history serves me well, that was the first group that they invited over, not the people who come over now. Okay, most of the immigrants that come to our shores and come into our towns, our cities, our states are hard workers who become productive members of society. They contribute to the economy, they pay their fair share. So again, we just couldn't ignore it. These dangerous messages continue to fuel the hate we see growing across our communities for individuals of different cultural backgrounds, sexual orientation, and gender identity. Our
Wow.
students deserve better representation from the school board.
Wow.
No, I see.
Excellent. And since we're talking about the school board, we actually just had an election. So let's move right into the 2021 Virginia elections and the role that Stafford and AACP played. You had the candidate forum and town hall and voters
Yeah.
registration. Starting with the candidate forum and the town hall, tell us why that event was key to mobilizing the community to participate in this election.
Sure. Thank you for that question. The community needs to be able to hear directly from those local candidates who want to represent them, from the school board all the way up to the governor's mansion. Being the Stafford NAACP, we want to afford not only our membership, but the entire community this opportunity not to only hear from these candidates, but to ask them to be right there in front of them and ask them questions that affect them directly. So we invited candidates running for the Virginia Lieutenant Governor office, the Stafford School Board. Okay, I mean, right up the line. As a matter of fact, the forum had the school board candidates, the Board of Supervisors candidates, the Virginia delegate candidates, and of course, we had Lieutenant Governor candidate for our town hall, and that was Hala Ayala.
What was the results? What was the turnout?
Well, we had some folks who were still concerned about COVID-19. We had others who just weren't going to come because they did not want to wear masks. But the viewing, we had over 4,000 views.
So
that's a lot for Stafford.
Yes, but what I'm hearing is that the Stafford NAACP can impact the elections in our community.
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. Yes, ma'am.
So talk about the success of the Stafford NAACP voter registration efforts.
In spite of COVID-19, the Stafford NAACP registered a little more than 20 registrants. A couple had just turned 18. I'm not real happy with those numbers, but that was what we were able to do once we had the opportunity to go out. The ban had been lifted from national so that we could go out and meet our community face to face. But in 2022, which is another election year for Virginia, and it's the midterm elections for both the U.S. House and Senate, we're going to be out there. We're going to hit the ground running come January. Okay. We continue to work with the Board of Elections to get qualified residents, not only registered, but once again informed on the upcoming elections.
And so since we talked briefly about COVID-19, in 2021, there were still certain restrictions due to COVID-19. However, the Stafford NAACP was still able to accomplish different events virtually. Can you talk about those?
Being that we were virtual and kind of trying to figure out, well, how are we going to connect with the people? We've got this new device called Zoom that everybody was kind of fumbling around with. So we decided to have a fun activity that was led by the Freedom Fund Committee. And it was a bingo. There was no cost to come. We set it up on Eventbrite, I believe it was. And Eventbrite goes all over the country. So we had people calling in the night of this bingo from New York, from Georgia, from North Carolina, not to mention the folks that are right here in our county. We had a wonderful time. Folks got to know one another, and what it were new members to the NAACP. So that was one thing. February brought in Black History Facts. Okay, so we had every day we were able to post information on Black history. So we had 28 days to do it. March came with women's history. So in March, we just continued what we had been doing in February. The only difference was that we were focusing strictly on women. And at the end of that month, at the end of March, we held a virtual tea. We had guest speakers, we had prominent guest speakers, and we had a very full, I'll say a full house. Everyone had a wonderful time, and they're all looking forward to the tea this time in person. The next event that we held, we tried that bingo again. This time you had to pay. It was then a fundraiser. So it was a family bingo extravaganza. Folks had so much fun. We included a raffle. We included the blackout, and folks were winning prizes. It was awesome. I even won something. I don't remember what it was, but I did win. And that was just virtual. The next opportunity that we had to have an event to invite the entire community was our all-you-can-eat feast. It was the first one that we were able to give where we were in person. And folks had a fabulous time. This is another event that everybody's looking forward to seeing come back in next year, 2022.
Well, what I'm hearing, you had several fundraisers that was also fun, but as I think about it, as an organization, you're also very involved with helping the community. And as being a part of the community also means participating in community and serving that community. So can you talk about how the Stafford NAACP work with different organizations like SERVE, the Stafford Emergency Relief through volunteer effort, Operation Warm, More Than a Coat, Tours for Tots, and I also believe Boys Club for the toys?
Yeah, Boys and Girls Club.
Yes, Boys and Girls Club. Thank you.
Okay, so there were many different ways to meet the needs of Stafford residents. One of the ways, as you just mentioned, was to participate with the organization SERVE. And last year we worked with them and we were able to give them $600 toward turkeys. Well, those fundraisers that I mentioned earlier put us in a position where this year we were able to give them $1,000. Okay, and that was toward turkeys and whatever else they may need from the food pantry. Let's see, we contributed $400 to Operation Warm, More Than a Coat. And they were extremely excited about that because what we found out was that they were issuing coats and warm items to the body, the Stafford school body, in segments, starting with kindergarten. So our funds contributed to the young adults and adults in the school system.
Not only fun there, but there's also a great opportunity to really serve the community. So those different events people attend, their money is actually going back into the community. That is amazing. Exactly. But I do want to talk to you about something else that's also kind of a serious thing. I want to talk about law enforcement and the importance of building partnerships, relationships, especially when there is still tension between law enforcement and the African American community. With such discussions surround the relationship between law enforcement and African American, why is it important that we are represented in the community? Why is it important that people see us?
Well, let's go back a little to 2020.
Okay.
We had an eye opener there for many people. What happened in 2020 exposed the relationship that the Black community have and has had since slavery with law enforcement. Because of technology and its affordability, the world got to see what we have been saying all along. Black people being killed at the hand of law enforcement. So 2021, or in 2021, we witnessed the court case live on television of a law enforcement gentleman being tried, and there's still work to be done. He was tried and convicted. Let me be clear, Stafford County is not immune. We have over the past few years developed an open dialogue um, in a pretty good relationship with Sheriff County, the Stafford County Sheriff. We continue to work on building trust between the Black community and the Sheriff Department. One of the issues that is still outstanding, however, are the body cameras and getting the Board of Supervisors to fund the program. At one time, it was programmed to be funded by 2022. Then it didn't get the required funding so that when 2022 comes in, it could happen. So, it's been a struggle. We want to be able to trust the sheriff, but, trust comes with showing proof. And we really need to have, this is Stafford County. And Stafford County is, that it's no joke. And the affordability we know is there. It's making the decision to put the funds there. Sheriff Decatur has been working for the needs of the community. We understand that, there is diversity training for the department, but again, it's not enough. Okay, building and having those relationships it's critical. The work is done. I'm sorry, I'll put it this way, the work won't be done until a Black man, a Black woman, a Black teenager no longer has to fear being killed when they see the traffic lights come up behind their car and get stopped for a traffic violation. That is the reality that we live in, whether people believe it or not.
Wow. That is definitely something to think about and to realize that we still have much work to do and we need people to be a part of that fight. And with that, on several occasions, you have encouraged people who are not a part of the Black community and who didn't even know that the NAACP is a diverse organization made up of different races, gender, sexual orientation, religion, all kinds of background. Can you talk about the importance of the diverse community within the NAACP?
Well, simply put, the legacy of the NAACP lies in the faces, Black, white, yellow, red, brown, united to awaken the consciousness of the people and the nation. Our vision is simple. It's to ensure a society in which all individuals have equal rights and there is no racial hatred or racial discrimination. That takes everyone. It takes all of us to make that happen. It's really simple to join the NAACP. You just go to our website, www.staffordnaacp.org, and click on the join button. Listen, membership is only $30 a year. But once you become a member, we want you to get involved. That's where the work is. And when there are many of us working, a lot of misnomers about who we are start to fall by the wayside, and folks start to realize, hey, they're no different than we are. And it's really weird for me to say this, because to hear myself saying it, because as a child, I heard activists saying those same words. And when you read, even before activism became a thing, you read the writings of some of our famous authors, and in their writings, they're saying the same words. What makes us different is only the color of our skin, nothing else.
This is also a really good time to talk about some upcoming events that's happening around the Stafford NAACP. Now, one of the things before we actually go to those, I want to talk about the general membership meetings that you have every first Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern time, and it's on Zoom, so people anywhere in the county, anywhere actually in the world can participate in. And if I'm not mistaken, The meetings are open, and we would love to have the entire Stafford community to join us.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. And I think the
Yes, that
Zoom
would be
link,
wonderful.
that would be amazing. So this is the invitation to the Stafford community to join us every first Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go to the Facebook page at stafford.naacp to get that link. And we would love to have you as our guest, and even more so as a member, arm in arm in this fight. Now, there is an
Yes.
event that is coming up, Madam President, on
Yes.
Friday,
Yes. I'm
December
still
the
putting my
10th.
outfit together.
December the 10th, 2021, the Stafford NAACP is hosting your annual holiday social beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time at the Aquia Harbor Inn with festive
Right.
holiday photos, a white elephant gift, and tickets, I believe, are only $25 per person or $38 per couple. Not only that, but Yolanda, can you tell us about the collection of toys for the Boys and Girls Club?
We are asking folks this year, we're only asking $25 to come into the party, and that $25 will direct you right over to a professional photographer who will take your picture or you and your significant other's picture, and you will select the one that you'd like to have them send to you. But we want to do a little more. We want you to bring an unwrapped gift. And I spoke with the gentleman who runs the Boys and Girls Club just about 3 hours ago. He gave me a call, and I asked him again to confirm the age range. And he said, listen, the age range can be from 5 to 9. So, it's a nice, broad range there. Pick up a toy, unwrapped, and that's going to be placed underneath the Christmas tree that we're going to have at the event. But we also want to have some gifts coming our way through the white elephant gifting process. It's a fun game, and we're not asking for any expensive gifts, guys. Listen, you can pick up a gift for $10, not less than $10, and not more than $15. Okay? Try to get something that you would want to have. You might get it back. Especially with the way this game is played. So, one other thing. We are also going to have a contest, and it's called the Ugly Sweater Contest. So come dressed to take your holiday pictures and, stick your sweater in the bag and throw it on and see where you rate for the ugliest.
Oh, awesome. That is awesome. And I believe also the Stafford NAACP Youth Council is once again collecting toys for the Marine Corps Toys for Tot program. New
That's right.
unwrapped toys can be dropped off at one of the drop boxes near Walmart Supercenter on Garrisonville Road or the Porter Library on Parkway Boulevard. And that is going on up until December the 10th. Wow, so
Yeah.
December the 10th. So go ahead and drop a toy off, community. Let's go ahead and serve those. Now, hey, also I want to encourage everyone out there to like and follow us on Facebook at Stafford.NAACP, Twitter at NAACP_Stafford, and on Instagram at Stafford NAACP Communications with an S. And please go ahead and visit our website at www.staffordnaacp.org. Well, Madam President, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over for your closing remark.
Well, again, I thank you so much for inviting me to, meet with you tonight and to provide this information to the Stafford community and beyond. And we look forward to 2022. We have already started making plans for 2022. We're going to hit January running with our first activity. I don't know if you want me to talk about it here, but our first activity is going to be on January 8th. So we'll get all of that information to you, early enough so that it can also be presented to the general public. And we are just asking that you join us. Again, we've got at least 6 months planned ahead, but it won't get what it really needs without the support of the community. And when I say the support of the community, I mean the community saying, okay, it's time that I join this organization. This organization comes January, I don't know the date, it could be January 1st, will be 113 years old. So it has paid its dues, and it has been paying us back for those 113 years, and we want to keep it going. So please consider joining the NAACP and coming to work with us. Thank you so very much.